Thanks for joining us tonight for a Dreamtime Transmission. Hopefully, these dreams help you drift into sleep easily. I would greatly appreciate it if you liked and subscribed before you drift off. New videos are released every night, so join us tomorrow if you like. Thank you, and good night.
From Ordinary B8643. I've had this dream many times, not in an every night sort of frequency, but over the last year I've dreamed of this house perhaps 10 to 15 times. I fear writing of it will bring me back there, but I want to share it. Every dream, it's the same house and the same entity that haunts it, but the events change. It's almost as if the story is progressing from dream to dream. The first time I dreamt of the house, I was touring the mansion as a prospective buyer. We walked all around the beautiful, expansive property, and we stopped briefly in the back of the property at the conclusion. It was a massive home with white siding, tall windows, a dark roof, and it stood 3 stories tall. Inside was a labyrinth of rooms that you could easily get lost in, but it was beautiful. The house itself rested atop a small foothill, with a green mossy lawn that stretched on for acres. The showing agent was discussing details with my investment partner when I absently looked up at the house. To my horror, an entity stood in one of the windows of the second floor in the far right wing and was staring straight at me. I felt my eyes widen and my heart clench as it seemed to bear into my soul, but I couldn't look away from it. It stood tall in the window, engulfed in darkness, but I could tell it was a woman. She had long, harsh features in her face that seemed to twist in an expression of hatred and rage. She stood inhumanly still, her arms by her side, but her eyes, they glared back at with a color that resembled a flame, flickering with orange, red, and black daggers. Suddenly, I realized that I wasn't just staring back into her cold, dangerous eyes. I was screaming, though my voice was gone. I screamed and screamed silent air to the others and tried to get their attention, but they don't hear me. My screams seemed to stretch on and on for an eternity as my throat grew raw and my body felt weaker for every second that passed. I felt trapped, imprisoned in a loop that I couldn't break. My screams grew even more ragged and desperate, but it was useless. I look back to the entity and a sense of dread passes over me. I let out a blood-curdling, silent wail before I woke up to the sound of my own very real and non-silent scream.
From Pato01. Hello, I'm pretty new to Reddit, and I hope I can find some good advice here. Or maybe if this is the wrong community, please tell me where I should ask. Basically, the problem is that I don't understand why I've been dreaming my ex-boyfriend for the last 5 or 7 nights. I'll explain the dreams, and then I'll give you a backstory. Basically, the dreams are always different, but they all follow the same line. It's just like the first day we met after years of not seeing each other. In different contexts, maybe. Once at the bar, another time at the beach, another we're in a hotel, etc. But every time is just like that day. We're both kind of shy towards one another. We glance at each other, and he slowly starts getting close and makes small talks. But in the end, we never make it to confess our feelings, which actually happened in reality. I just can never make it in my dreams. The backstory of the two of us is pretty long and complex, but I'll try to make it as short as I can. I started to have a crush on this guy when I was a teen and was pretty obsessed with him, not the stalking type, but I just couldn't think of having any other romantic relationship. Long story short, we were stupid teens and he broke my young heart and we went no contact. Around 7 to 8 years later, we started hanging out again, always with other friends present. And of course, I had stupid butterflies in my stomach. At the end of the day, we both confessed our feelings and decided to be a couple. It was pure magic, so much love, us again the world, you know? But it only lasted a few months. I realized he wasn't mature enough, only dreaming of doing things, but never working for them. So we broke up, and I was devastated because he was my love for years. Now a couple of years have passed again, and I'm in love with my actual boyfriend. He treats me like I'm so precious to him. He teaches me stuff. We work on projects together. We live together. He worries for me. And I also do everything for him. I'm happy. We're happy. And we worked hard to get to this point in the relationship. So I have no idea why I started dreaming my ex-boyfriend. I'm worried that I might have to seek a therapist to understand what's going on in my mind, why I can't just forget ex-boyfriend, or why I can't let him go. I love my actual boyfriend, but I just still feel a kind of attraction towards ex-boyfriend. I cold go on without thinking about it until these dreams started tormenting me. They messed me up so bad. From 2dope0420. So I have been having dreams for years like this. It will be a decent dream, then my dream self will realize shit is about to turn bad, and I will tell myself to wake up, and I wake up. And on another occasion, I had a dream about my mill cat who had turned evil and tried to attack me. But dream cat had claws, real cat doesn't, so I said, "Ha! You fucked up dream. Milo doesn't have claws." And then the dream just kind of drifted away, and I woke up. Anyway, there's that.
From Desperate Image 930. Most of my dreams are nightmares, but not this one. I'm trying to return to this alternative dimension that I can still imagine clear as day. I've started to write a book on it, and the further I get, the more I want to go back. I'm trying to lucid dream by eating certain foods before bed, eliminating use of THC, and reading before bed, but I can't seem to get it. How do we activate lucid dreaming? What can I do to gain control in my dreams?
From Rosa Coiley, I was near a shore, in the sea. Not too distant, there was a yacht and two rich guys were having fun repeatedly stabbing a small whale which was now dead. I started insulting one of the guys due to his cruelty. New scene. I am at the house where I grew up. The same guy has somehow managed to find my address and is now breaking into my house. My sister, I don't talk to her in real life, is there. We managed to overcome him and almost kill him by hitting him on the head with very heavy antique glass bottles. At some point during this last scene, I call the police. At first, they don't answer, then they answer, but they ask useless questions. They kind of doubt I'm the one really in danger, almost like they try to protect the guy. During the rest of the dream, I am aware they are conducting an investigation about me, like I am the one who did something wrong. The guy transforms into a big and very strong bat. I try to trap him by wrapping it up in towels, then stuffing him in some kind of small wrought iron cage, but it always manages to almost escape. Then I remember squeezing him into the towel and feeling I broke the membrane of one of its wing, but I feel it is still very strong and struggling to escape. The last thing I remember is me still holding the bat in the towel and thinking that I should find a way to burn it.
From Longhornet 3278. I had a dream that my ex-boyfriend committed not alive. So in the dream I wasn't with him. I was spectating his location on Life 360. He was on some sort of road that wasn't busy, and I remember just watching his location. While I was watching, his speed just kept gradually increasing and increasing and increasing till it got into the hundreds. And then his location stopped moving. Life 360 sent a notification to my phone telling me that it appeared that he had been in a crash. I remember watching his speed increase, and I could feel myself panicking. But when I found out that he had died in a car accident, that he did on purpose to end his life, I remember just feeling nothing. I woke up afterwards and felt nothing too. Normally, I'm not unfazed by death dreams. Normally I have some sort of reaction, but this time I just felt nothing about the situation. I didn't feel like reaching out to him and talking to him about it. I didn't feel worried about it. I didn't feel sad about him dying at all in the dream. What does this mean?
From OK Paleontologist 9451. My dream is to one day open up my own dentistry. Right now I work at a factory making toys, but my dream is to become a dentist. I just love teeth. I even dream about them. I know I don't fit in, but this is my dream and my passion. My boss yells at me and tells me to get in line, sissy, and quit daydreaming, but I won't. I think dreams are wonderful experiences we should treasure.
From I Want to Be Your Canary. I had a dream that I was laying down and I couldn't get up. I noticed that I had chains on the ankles of my feet, and I guess that was the reason why I couldn't get up. There was some people there that I didn't recognize, but also my mom was there as well. They were all watching TV, and we were all in my room. I can't remember why I couldn't just stand up straight, even with the chains being around my ankles and nothing else holding me back from standing. But at some point in the dream, I broke the chains and was able to stand up. After that, the last thing I remember was my mom leaving the room. I still don't know what the other people were there for, but they stayed and continued to watch TV. From Dry's Jury 4-325, I dreamt about a man trying to stab another man who was with a girl. I can't remember the context of why there was stabbing, but I was witnessing it, and right before the attacker could stab his victim, I successfully talked him out of it. I can't find an explanation for this dream. Would any one of you know? It's my first time posting here, so I'm not sure if it's okay to ask questions like this.
From Bex Joe. I'm starting to have this very intense, reoccurring dream, similar to War of the Worlds, like an alien invasion has taken place. I'm running and hiding in different homes, trying to avoid the aliens walking around at all cost. They are tall, ethereal, misty in shape, almost silvery, and I never see their face. I just know that if they see me, then I'm done. The person they see dissipates. It's pretty graphic, very stressful, and I'm often running from garage to garage in a city with hills that I don't recognize. I often get movie-like dreams, and I can usually have some sense of control, or at least confront the thing chasing me. But these aren't the usual monsters or hunters. It's like I know if I confront them, it won't go away, and I can't let them get me. All I can do is escape until I wake up. There are other people in the dream, but never anyone I know. Anyone have anything similar or any ideas on this?
From Hyro 21. Hey y'all, JS had a dream last night about planets. However, I didn't see the ones in our solar system. It was like a mix of random ones. Some were pink, yellow, blue. There was about 9 of them. The part that makes it crazier is the fact that there was this old man in my room, and when I wanted to take a picture of them, he took my phone and said, "This is how you see them clearer." And then the planets got closer. I don't really know if the part about the old man is relevant, but I want to mention it just in case. Also, the 3 things that caught my attention in the dream were 2 quarter moons that were inverted, a red ring in the sky, and a gold ring in the sky. Can someone please tell me what this means? I'm genuinely curious as I can't find an answer anywhere.
From Coxsat. From the age of 7, I had my first lucid dream, which I can remember almost perfectly. He was with a girl close to my age. We were playing outside in a village we had never seen before. It was like a combination of my village and an unseen one. At the age of 11, I had another lucid dream with the same girl, but now she had a younger brother. She looks almost the same, but you could see that she has grown more. She greeted me and I was very happy because I had seen her again. Now we were playing with some carts. From here, I don't really remember. Now at the age of 13 present, I know I'm young, I dreamed she looked almost the same again. She was changed, she had entered puberty, her brother grew up. The dream seemed to have continued from the previous one. Now instead of carts there were Formula One cars and specially arranged seats. I'm not interested in the dream. I want to know who that girl is. Why do I dream of her every night? Why?
From a causes punching bag. This probably gets brought up frequently, but why? Quick rundown. Ended not very well, haven't spoken nearly a year, and all of a sudden she's in my dreams. It was short dating like a month, so I don't see why. The dreams are weird, it's her trying to be romantic or something, and me telling her I have a girlfriend, which I currently do. It's almost like my dreams are saying, I want her to want me, but I don't want her. I haven't thought about her in so long. I'm sorry this came out rantish.
From the Hairy Manrilla. Had this dream last night, where I and over 100 others were in a community center for some info session of some sort, like a slideshow or something. Turned out it was one of those early stages of cult indoctrination where they try to reel in unsuspecting people. Then some people tried to leave, but at the back of the room by the exit was the cult's police force, wearing all black and holding white nightsticks. They were forcibly barring people from leaving and then bringing them back to their seats. So I saw all of this, and then I got up and tried to leave, and I went full Karen on them. Do not touch me. There is no law that allows you to keep me here. Don't you dare stop me from leaving. And they backed off. One of them reacted like, okay, geez. From Machiavelli 27. Was just curious if anyone had any thoughts on mirrors facing your bed. I've heard mirrors are portals and can welcome unwanted spirits. Anyone have any experience with this? I have been getting nightmares 4 to 5 times a week, and I have 3 large mirrors facing my bed. I can't really change it because my apartment is small and they are closet door mirrors. I can't remove them.
From Greywalk Warning, like the title says, it's about 9/11. So tonight I dreamed that 9/11, yes, the event was somehow a theme park ride. I would enter the plane and it would fly into the building. There was a lot of smoke but no gore or death. I just remember thinking, oh, I remember this, when it happened years ago on TV. When it was over, I went on the ride for a second time. I woke up and realized how messed up this dream was. Yet maybe it tells something about Western culture, turning tragedies into spectacles with the 24/7 news channels and internet.
From Question Vent. Please can someone give me some sort of input? I don't know if this is a stupid question or if I can do anything about it. But anyways, 1. Every single night I dream extremely vividly, and it's gotten to the point that I feel so exhausted every morning after waking up, like my mind was so active I never got a proper rest. 2. The dreams are so realistic that I am confusing them with reality. For example, I'd have a conversation with my grandmother in my dream, and then bring it up in real life, thinking it really happened, and she would ask me, "What the hell are you talking about?" I was a little while back prescribed melatonin, 6 milligrams an hour before bed, and found that it gave me outright crazy dreams. And when I came off it, they slowed down a bit, but they are still so frequent, and I am just so tired. I really don't know if this is something a person can control, and I do feel guilty, as I know there are many people that never have dreams, but if anyone could give me any sort of input, I'd appreciate it. I wake up tired every morning, and I'm often so confused and frustrated when I can't tell my dreams and reality apart. And the people around me probably think I'm losing it, lol.
From Black Cat Soames. I'll have dreams that I'll be planning to be ready by a certain time, but lose track of time and find out I have to be at work in about 10 minutes. I either skip work at this point without calling them, or try to get ready until I'm late and just decide not to go. There have also been a few times where I just decided to quit and never show up again, and even applied at a few other places. I'll sometimes be indecisive during my shift that I'm absent for, deciding if I should go in late or not. I've also had several dreams where I went into an old job that I was let go from, and I either try to hide because I'm not supposed to be there, or at least attempt to leave.
From Lock0P. So I was walking into a gas station. I think that I see 2 dudes. One random dude, then Walter White. Then he said we need to build, and a few of the animatronics had no cosmetics on, so bare bones, then we get it fixed. The band starts playing. Then an Italian mob bust in with guns and start killing people except for me and Walter. And we grab a gun and kill them all. Then I pass out and wake up in a city with a fly suit. I'm flying in the air till it stops. Then I wake up feeling like I fell.
From Eldritch Feedback. I had the first dream that managed to properly spook me since elementary school. It wasn't even a full nightmare, just a very bizarre end to a fairly silly dream that involved me trying to drive 2 cars at once, or being in the back seat of my mom's car while also struggling to control the other car through 2 car windows. It's hard to construe a coherent plot out of it because the memories of it are hazy. You know how dreams are sometimes, especially if you don't have a vivid imagination. The events jump around from one thing to another without any obvious logic, but I remember acting weirdly stressed out about something. At some point, I was at some place with a vaguely similar but still incorrect layout to my real-life home, but none of the correct furniture. I never saw the ceiling, or lack thereof. Besides the car bit, the only other part I remember is right before it happened. I was on the porch in my Nana's backyard, which was way too big and several stories high, and there was some guy there. I think he was the guy I got the car from. I went inside, something, a character select screen from a video game I play a lot showed up, but again, just slightly wrong, in that way dreams tend to be, like I was about to fight the car salesman for some reason. But when I stepped back outside, a sentence resonated in my mind. You don't just ignore a man who has that many eyes. And then several images of stock photos flashed through my eyes of groups of smiling people, except they weren't people. Their heads were slimy, doughy, bulbous mounds with sunken eyes dilated into black saucers and wide mouths with massive gaps between teeth, like a normal mouth was spread out. They didn't have any lips or eyelids. One of the people had 2 of these mounds of mucus, each attached to spindly necks, like a snail's eye stalks. I never saw the man with that many eyes. He was waiting for me at the back of my Nana's backyard, but I woke up before I could meet him. I bet the number of eyes he has is vastly overrated. He probably only has like 3. Bitch. From Weird Dreamer 2023, reader discretion is advised. Just woke up from a dream where I felt myself crying relief and pains of the victims. I dreamt this heavily bearded big man an Indian actress by the initials of RM while she was on her period. I saw and tried to stop him, but couldn't. Her blood was squirting as he was geek her. The guy was an acquaintance of an Indian actor by the initials of SRK, whom did not know that man was a violent person. IDK. It's weird that I actually see these 2 actors specifically. Anyways, after the rape, I managed to get help from a passerby who's also built and tall. He fights with that man and wins, but then that bad man poured acid in his face, destroying man number 2's right eye, leaving a sagging eye socket with no eyeball. It also destroyed his nose, skeletal, and the right side of his lips, like what a stroke does to your face. The bad man manages to escape and now shaved, driving in a car. It's weird, because it now includes me sitting in the backseat videotaping him like I'm a reporter. He senses me there and flicks his cigarette as he's whining about what I'm doing, and he can't do anything about it. He causes an accident and runs off into a hospital. Now it's a room with other people there, and I'm sitting down. The bad guy shows up, and I see the man that helped me earlier show up behind the bad guy. I made a motion with my head to signify the bad guy's location, and somehow the bad guy senses this and runs off to the bathroom. When man number 2 gets there and opens the door to the bathroom, the bad man is in there trying to hurt someone else. It's not a normal bathroom because there's a massage table in there, and that's where we see the bad guy trying to assault the next victim. There's fighting. The next scene shows policemen leading the bad guy out in cuffs. Man number 2 looks at me, and we are both relieved. I burst out crying where my body jerks, and a sense of justice makes my heart swell. I feel myself crying in my sleep in my dream, but I also notice in my body outside the dream, there are no tears in my eyes. In the dream after the situation, I tell the people around me, as well as these 2 women nurses close to me, as I hug them individually, what had happened, and that if they needed anyone to talk to, I was there. A few minutes passed by, and one of the nurses confessed that she had just been rude and assaulted by the same bad man. We hug, and that's where I woke up, because of course, I needed to use the bathroom. I tried looking up meanings for this dream because of the sheer violence and weirdness of seeing the actress and actor specifically. Couldn't find any, other than that something bad might happen, but IDK, I wasn't the RE or RR. Any insights?
From Betafish. I had this dream tonight where I was hiding in my mom's closet, but it was like an entirely different realm. It was filled with water. There were various sea creatures. It was like a mini ocean. My mom was walking around the house trying to find me, but I didn't want to leave the sea closet thing. I felt so comfortable and warm in it.
From Williams SJ 1008. I had a dream about my husband sexually assaulting our 11-year-old daughter. In the dream, he openly confessed to forcing her to give him oral sex. And in the dream, I also saw him doing this. I woke up feeling all the emotions one would feel in the real-life situation. The dream was very vivid and terrifying. This is also not the first time I've had a dream of my husband sexually assaulting one of our children. A little backstory. We've been having personality issues between our 11-year-old and my husband, which has put a strain on the family. Also last night, her school sent home paperwork about a workshop of sexual abuse that they are going to do with her whole grade. It included a YouTube video, which I also watched. I'm just really tired of having these horrible, vivid dreams. I keep searching for a reason why I keep having these sex assault dreams, but it seems there is little out there.
From Denny's. Me and my family lives in an 8-story apartment. In my dream, my mom was at work and my dad was at home. I was leaving the house to get to work. When I was exiting the apartment, a SWAT-looking team of soldiers entered the apartment. There were many military cars parked outside. It was really weird, but I get on the bus to get to work anyway. On the way to the bus, I saw my colleague and told him about what happened. I am not sure about how I learned this, but somehow I found out there was a bombing risk on the second floor of the apartment. I think it was a suicide bomber. Immediately, I called my mom and told her about it, and she went back home to get my dad. She video called when she was in the apartment going down the stairs with my dad. Mind you, our native language is not English, so the dream so far was in our native language. But somehow my mom said, "Yes, please," in English very loudly to someone behind the camera. And the moment she said that, an explosion happened. The stairs collapsed. I saw my dad getting buried under the rubbles and my mom hitting the rubbles on her back. Her eyes widened and her mouth opened. It looked like she was trying to say something but couldn't make a sound. Then she started bleeding. Her face was covered with blood. I got off the bus and started running back, and then I woke up. My heart was beating so fast, and I cried a little after waking up. The last time I was this much affected by a dream was probably 1 or 2 years ago. That dream was also similar themed. In that dream, there was a burglar in our house with a knife, and I was really afraid that he would kill my mom, so I was screaming to my mom to warn her. I woke up screaming from that dream. Other than these dreams, I don't remember my dreams much, and usually they are not scary, just random daily stuff happening.
Hopefully, you aren't hearing this message because you are asleep, but if you are still awake, I would like to thank you for joining us for tonight's Dreamtime Transmission.